This is my speech, July 8th, 2012. How you guys doing?
So far, so good.
Excellent.
Alright, so imagine a fuel shortage like this country has never seen before. Soon, your car runs out of gas, you can't go to work, you have to walk everywhere. Shipments of food stop, and stores quickly run out of supplies. Is your family prepared for this kind of situation? Or what about something a little less dramatic, like a power outage that lasts a week, such as the one in West Virginia, Ohio, and Maryland? With a power outage like that, the Red Cross states that the food in your fridge will go bad in as little as 2 hours, the food in your freezer in as little as 24. My name is Tim Mayhew, and my family is prepared for most natural and economic disasters. Today I'm going to tell you about why you should prepare your family for a disaster and the steps you can take to start making those preparations. First, I'll tell you about why you should prepare. Then I'll tell you about some simple steps that you can take to start preparing now. And next I'll tell you about some ongoing things you can do to help keep your family prepared. Let's take a look at some of the reasons why you would want to prepare your family for a disaster. According to Ready Georgia's website, in 2009, there was a 500-year flood and 68 recorded tornadoes. If a tornado were to hit your area, is your family ready? What about a flood in your backyard? Would you be prepared? With the record heat that we're having in the southeast right now, would you be ready if the power went out and your air stopped working? There are also less likely but very possible things to consider, such as crime, terrorism, pandemics, economic situations, or maybe a gas shortage such as the one we experienced here in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina. There are many things we face in everyday life that give us a reason to be prepared as possible. Next, let's look at some things that you should do as a family to help prepare for these situations. According to the Handbook for Practical Disaster Preparedness by Arthur Bradley, the most important thing you can do to help prepare your family is to stay aware. Pay attention to your surroundings and be mindful of the situation that you and your family may encounter in your area. One thing you can do in order to stay aware is get an NOAA approved weather radio. Per the Georgia Emergency Management Agency website, these radios are usually battery or crank powered and range in price from $35 to $100 depending on quality and features. The other thing you can do to start prepping your family is to start gathering a 72-hour kit. There are many websites that can help you build a custom 72-hour list for each member of your family, such as the 72hour.org, Ready Georgia's website, and the CDC's website. The most important thing in the kits are food and water. There should be at least 3 days worth for each family member. The food should be non-perishable, and if not, should be rotated out of the kit every 30 days. It also shouldn't require refrigeration and should be food that your family is already used to eating. You should also include enough first aid supplies for your family and all mandatory medicines. So you can see it's not that hard to start preparing your family. Last, let's look at some of the things you can do to help further prepare your family for an extended disaster. The most important thing is to start storing at least 30 days worth of food and water. Again, the food should be non-perishable and rotated out, and should not require refrigeration, and should be food that your family is already used to eating. You should also start a 30-day rotation of all medicine that your family needs. Next, you can take your 72-hour kits that you already made and put them into what are called go bags. A go bag is just a labeled bag or backpack that contains your 72-hour kit for each family member. These bags are great in case your family needs to quickly evacuate for any reason. The last thing you can do to continue prepping is to acquire some form of personal protection. Whether you agree with firearms or not, there may be a situation where you need to protect your family from harm. These are some of the things that I believe you can do to help further prepare your family for an extended disaster. There are always going to be natural and economic uncertainties that present a reason for your family to be prepared, but there are easy steps you can take to begin to prepare your family for these uncertainties. Follow these steps to ensure that when the gas runs out, your family will be ready. Given the opportunity, wouldn't you want to take steps to prepare your family?
Amen.
Here.
Any questions about preparedness?
What about preparedness as far as bugging out?
Bugging out. Well, there's a little bit like the go bag I was talking about. That's your go bag can contain your 72-hour worth of supplies. I only touched on some of the items that need to go in your go bag, but I really like the 72hour.org website. It'll do custom stuff for each one. You can actually save your lists and print it out. And so when you bug out, you need to have an evacuation plan in place that your family knows in case you're separated. Some people even take their go bags with them everywhere they go. And so in case you're all separated and you can't come home, your family should have a place that you know you're going to meet in a situation like that. So.
Do you do anything special with batteries?
I personally store batteries. I store special 3-year batteries. They're called in-loops. They hold charge for up to 3 years. I try to keep a selection for all the devices that I have, but my weather radio is a hand crank, so that I don't have to have batteries. They usually take either or. But yeah, they suggest keeping as many the batteries that you need for your devices on hand. And they have.
What is it called when you store your communication devices and batteries and things safely from an EMP?
What is that device called?
Faraday cage.
A Faraday cage.
Which is supposed to protect those electronic items from an electromagnetic pulse. And in that situation they would still work.
Right.
They say a microwave will work as a Faraday cage.
I don't know how many items you can keep in a microwave.
Supposedly, if you have stuff in a microwave, it would be safe.
Or grounded box, yeah.
Right, and batteries would be something that you put in a Faraday cage?
I think batteries would still work because there's no actually circuit.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's electromagnetic pulse that affects circuits. So.
Okay.
Well, if they affect batteries, I'd have to look that up.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you.
Cool, thank you.